They felt that they were the descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, and that they would, there were 144,000 men and 144,000 women spread around the globe, who would, when they would all come together, they were all the descendants of these people. When they came together in an event called the Ingathering, that would trigger the apocalypse.
Okay.
So they felt coming together here in Michigan was the start of the Ingathering. They thought it would take a while to get 144,000 members, or 288, but they never quite got there. But but that's what they were doing. They thought they were helping to kind of bring about the millennium.
Yeah.
And that was very much a key aspect of their belief. Surprisingly, they left everything pretty well documented, and they left a lot for future generations. So that's kind of ironic. They never expected it to last, but here we are.
Yeah.
So a fact most people don't know is about a third of the members were from Australia, directly from Australia.
Because
So
was there a House of David in Australia?
there was a precursor group called the Rowites that were very popular, well, somewhat popular in Australia. There were thousands of them there. And hundreds of them came over here to join the House of David, which they saw as the kind of like continuation of what they were believing. There were certain requirements to the religion. One of them was celibacy, another was vegetarianism, and they were also pacifists who wouldn't serve in the military. Well, they would, but in non-combat roles.
Yeah.
And celibacy was a major feature. In the early days when the people were first running the commune, it was sex-segregated dormitories. Men and women lived separately. Husbands and wives were expected to separate.
Yeah.
But then after about 10 or 15 years, there was enough of a, it seems like more of a grassroots kind of effort to allow people to marry. And then they start allowing couples to marry. But for a lot of that time, the couples still don't live together. So it's a type of companionate marriage where they weren't supposed to have kids and they weren't supposed to be having sex.
Yeah.
And so celibacy was the ideal of what the colony was based on. It was wrapped up in the idea of original sin, going back to the book of Genesis and Adam and Eve, and the sense that everyone was tainted by original sin.
And then you keep passing it on.
And you keep passing this sin on. So they were like, let's stop the cycle of spreading sin by becoming celibate. And they also thought the end of the world was coming, so they didn't think they'd have to wait that long for this to all play out.
That was the key to that.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah.
Yeah, like they expected they would live forever, but they also expected the apocalypse was right around the corner. So the apocalypse would come, they would survive it, not really anyone else would, but they would survive it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they would then be able to marry and have kids and kind of repopulate the world with a race of people pure from sin.
Right.
Or the sin burned away in the apocalypse.
Let's go over the businesses if we can.
Okay, they were most known for the baseball team.
Okay.
Probably next best known for the amusement park, which was open for 70 years or so, 1908 to 1975.
Okay.
And but probably they were the most successful at agriculture. The biggest business was the farming operation, thousands of acres, fruit farms spread across 3 counties. They also eventually opened a cold storage plant, one of the first large cold storage plants in the country at the Berrien County Fruit Market, and which was a large nationally known centralized fruit market for distribution of all kinds of Midwestern fruit. And the House of David built a massive cold storage warehouse right on the fruit market and played a major role in that. They went beyond just storing the crops for farmers. They became a broker, buying and selling the crops and then selling that to distributors. And so they became involved in large-scale agricultural production in the area.
Yeah.
They also owned a factory that made jams, jellies, soups, juices, pickles, a lot of just canned and jarred fruit and vegetable stuff. And they were very successful with it. They had a whole line of that started in 1933 and continued till 1965. So it would have been in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. There would be a brand, House of David jam or House of David jelly or soup or just have grape juice. Kind of you have to pop the little thing and drink it back in the day. So there was a brand, and they were very successful with it. On top of that, they had a lot of workshops here on site. They actually had a machine shop where they built the actual trains used at the amusement park that would take visitors around the amusement park. They had a foundry. They had a musical instrument shop that made violins, cellos, basses, guitars, mandolins, ukuleles, and they sold some of those out of the gift shops in the park, but some of them were also consigned to music stores in this area, in Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, South Bend.
Under the name
like
of
that.
House of David
Under the name of House of David Guitars, or House of David Music. I was called Eden Springs Instrument Company, or that the label said, which is the name of the park over there. And so they had, in addition to that, they had a commercial art business. They made statuary and artwork, wooden artwork, leather, but mostly molded statuettes. Some of them were like religious, or kind of like Mary on the wall, or Jesus at the Last Supper hanging on the wall of your grandmother's house kind of artwork. But they produced a lot of it, and it was available through catalogs. It was also sold in the gift shops at the park. Most of the farmland, I think almost all the farmland, has been sold, liquidated. That's all been sold off over the years. Their business empire really fell apart. It was very successful in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It really fell apart in the 70s and 80s, kind of mirroring the economy of sort of post-industrial economy of Benton Harbor and St. Joseph. And over time, all those businesses either closed or were sold off, and eventually the farmland was leased out and then finally sold off. And right now we own a 4-acre blueberry patch down the road, and we own those 2 fields over there.
And that's it.
And that's it. Of the once great agricultural empire, which was, thousands of acres. Once you get, the membership starts to fall off after 1930, then they get a point where the members are in leadership positions, and then they have to hire people from the general community to fill out the sort of rank and file positions within the park or within the food processing plants or the cold storage plant that they had. So, so it fluctuates. It goes from 6 to 1,100 people. Then by the 40s, you're down to about 250. And then that number just kind of dwindles all the way till 2020 when the last practitioner of the faith passes away.